Today we're going to be creating a rock, paper, scissors game with NodeJS and some functional concepts for the terminal. So to get started, you're going to need a rock, paper, scissors directory, and then we're going to, in VS Code, open the terminal, and inside of there we're going to run npm init-y to start a new project and get default values. And there's our package JSON. And for this project, we're going to use 3 libraries, okay? So we're going to run npm I for install -- save. And these are 3 libraries that I handmade from scratch, and some of the functions will work just perfectly for this project. So the first one is console input. The second one is home on the range. And the last one is Hamda. Hamda's a play on the Ramda functional library. It's just got some extensions on it, and we're going to use one of those today. So install all those. And again, I'm choosing to use 3 functions from these 3 libraries specifically for readability of my code. I think that if it doesn't slow down my code and it makes it a lot more readable, then that's what we're aiming for, is readability. And in this case, that's hopefully what we're going to get. So we need a index.js file, and we're going to require those libraries at the top. So const input equals require console input. Const random choice is the function we're going to be using from, can't talk and type, random choice equals require home on the range. And random choice is the function we're going to be using with the home on the range library. It takes an array and picks one of the array items at random. And the last we're going to be using is const cond for conditional and equals require. This is the Hamda library. And conditional is like a if, else kind of statement, but it'll take as many else ifs as we want and then an else at the end. And it'll make more sense as we write these. So we need a function called main. And this game's rock, paper, scissors, so we're going to need a user choice and computer choice. So let's do const user choice equals input. And this is the kind of a simplified, this is very similar to the Python input. So equals input. And we're going to do choose your weapon. Okay, and a user could input, let's say they're going to input rock, right? Rock, paper, scissors. If they input rock in all caps versus rock in lowercase, or just a capital R on rock, those are all different, and we want to make all those one common thing. So let's do 2 lowercase. So whatever they put in, it always goes to the lowercase version of it. So input choose your weapon dot to lowercase. We can call that method on that. And we're storing that in the user choice variable. Underneath, we're going to do const. Now we need the computer choice equals. And this is where we're going to use our random choice function from home on the range, random choice. And again, that takes in an array. And our array this time is going to be our 3 possible choices a computer could have: rock, paper, paper, or scissors. And that's it for that. So random choice will pick one of these 3 at random and return it to this variable computer choice. Great. So now we have those. Now we need to make some conditions for how do we know if the user wins? How do we know if they tie? How do we know if they lose? So we're going to build those now. And eventually, as this gets bigger and more complex, we're going to start splitting these into their own functions. But until that's necessary, we're going to keep it in the main function. So here we go. We need some win conditions. And to make win conditions, we're going to do, there's 3 possible ways to win, right? Paper can beat rock, scissors can beat paper, and rock can beat scissors. So we could do something like const, and for win condition, WC win condition 1 equals, and that would be item, user choice. If the user choice is paper, and the computer choice is rock. So if the user choice is paper and the computer choice is rock, well, the user wins, right? And then we're going to need two more win cases. Const win case, win condition number 2 would be user choice is scissors, and computer choice is paper. And the third win condition, we can actually copy paste this, right? Because now we got the pattern here. So the third win condition, WC3, is user choice would be rock, and the computer choice would be scissors. Okay, and then to simplify that, just because it could be any of those three as a win choice, right? So we can do const a win then is defined as either win choice 1 is true, right? Either user choice is paper and either that and computer choice is rock. So either that first choice is true, that's a win, or the second choice, we forgot our equals sign. Win choice 1 or win condition 1 is true, or win condition 2 is true, or win condition 3 is true. If any of those three are true, then the win variable is true and we win, the user wins. Okay, and now we need to make a tie condition. So const tie equals, if the I don't know why I keep typing item, user choice triple equals the computer choice. So if the user choice is a computer choice, we have ourselves a tie. And now we're getting to the point where we have a decent amount of code in our main function, and we're going to want to break these out a little bit into their own things. So to do that, we're going to start with these. We're going to put these in their own function. And we're going to say const user choice, comma, computer choice. We're going to destructure these here, equals get choices. We're going to have a get choices function. So down here, we're going to make function get choices. Doesn't take in anything. It just gets the user input and gets the computer choice. And then we're going to return the user choice and the computer choice in an object that we're going to destructure up here as we just did. Okay, and save that. Now we're going to take these win conditions and we're going to do the same thing, put these in their own function, and we're going to put these along with the tie condition. Actually, not with the tie condition. So let's just do the win conditions. Let's cut those out, and we're going to say const win. A win is going to equal get, or let's put them each in their own function, so win and tie. So we're going to hang tight on that for a second, and we're going to do function make win conditions, and this is going to take in, and we can put it up here. In the end, what I'm thinking is we're going to have win and tie come from the same function. So it's going to be something like this: const win, comma, tie, and these are the conditions, equals get conditions. Okay, and to get the conditions, we're going to need to pass in user choice and computer choice to get these win and tie conditions. And so we're going to need three functions down here. We're going to need the make win conditions function. We're going to need the make tie condition function. So we'll leave this empty for now. There's make win conditions. We're going to want a function to make tie condition. And then above that, we're going to want a function to combine both of those. So this function is going to be the get conditions function. And this function is going to call both the make win and make tie condition functions. And up here we call the get conditions functions for the win and the tie. We're just kind of separating this out into their own deals. So let's get rid of this terminal so we can see what we're doing. All right, we cut the win conditions from earlier, so let's paste them in. And we have win condition 1, 2, 3, win. Okay, and we're going to return the win. So it takes, this of course has to take in the user choice and the computer choice. And if any of these 3 win conditions are true, then this overall win condition is true and the user's won. So we're returning that. In the make tie condition, we're actually going to make this a one-liner. So const make tie condition equals, it's going to take the user choice and the computer choice, and it's going to return if the user choice triple equals the computer choice. And that's it for the make tie condition. So it returns if these two are equal. And then in get conditions, we're going to call both of these to get them. So function get conditions then is const a win is equal to make win conditions, this function right below it, and it takes in the user choice and the computer choice. Okay, and we can't just get those come from up here in the main function. We pass them in to get conditions, so we need them here as parameters, user choice and computer choice. All right, so win checks for the win condition and gives it to the variable win. And then we can do const tie equals make tie condition. And again, it passes the user choice and the computer choice, and returns true or false if it's a tie to this tie variable. And then we can return the win and tie as an object. And that's what we're getting up here is win and tie from this get conditions function that we just made. All right. So now we know the win and tie conditions, and we plugged in the user choice and computer choice to find out if these are true or false. So both of these are going to be Boolean values. It's either a win or it's a tie or it's neither. And if it's neither, then it's a loss. And we're going to get to that right now. So there's going to be a general message that we're going to use. Why do we still have tie up here? Const tie. Okay, tie is now down in this tie function, right? Make tie condition. Okay, so we don't need tie up here anymore. So let's now make a message to return in the terminal with you win, you lose kind of thing. So const message equals, and I'm using const a lot because unless something's changing, I'm not going to use let. Const is just more stable in my opinion. If it's not going to change, why give someone that option to change it? So const message equals, and I'm going to do something like, I'm going to use backticks here. What you chose was, we're going to put the user choice in here. So you with the arrow to what you chose, user choice, versus, and then we're going to put the computer's choice in here, and we're just going to, for a nice little effect, we're going to put an arrow facing the other way and then say computer choice. So your choice, which might have been rock, versus the computer choice, which might have been paper. And then based on, and that's the message that we need to, we're going to return, but that doesn't tell us if we win or lose, right? So we're going to have one more thing to attach to that message. So const, we're going to call it result for now, result to return equals, it's going to be that message right above there. So it's going to be this, your choice and the computer's choice, plus this is where we're going to use the conditional from Hamda. Okay, again, this is like an if-else thing. I'm going to explain it kind of as we go. Plus conditional, and excuse me, if it's a win, so in this case, if this win is true, if win, then we're going to add you win to this message. Okay, if it's not a win, and let's say tie is true, so if it's not a win, and then else if it's a tie, then we're going to put tie and attach it to the message variable. And then if it's not a tie, then they lost. Okay, this is the else part, so it's just going to be sorry, you lose. Then else, yeah. So if we have the if this, then that, else if it's a tie, then tie, and then if it's neither of those, then return sorry, you lose. Okay, so save that. Oh, and we need to return the result. Okay, so I'm gonna talk through this line one more time just so it makes a little more sense. So message from above, this is the result that we're going to return, this message, plus, and this conditional function will return, it's guaranteed to return something. It's a simplified version of using if, else if, and else. It's kind of the functional version. So the conditional says, hey, if win is true, return you win in this spot here where this conditional is. If it's a tie, return the string tie. If it's neither of those, then always return sorry, you lose, because if you don't win or tie, you lose, right? So it's going to be message plus either you win or tie or sorry, you lose. And then we're going to return that result to the console. So this is let's just clean it up just a little bit, the whole program. And we need to run main down at the bottom, because when we run the program, we need to actually run main, and main's returning something. So we want to print the result that it's returning. So we're going to console.log running of the main function, console.log, and we're going to run the main function to run the program. Okay, so let's open the terminal back up, clear, and we're going to run the program. So node index.js. Okay, choose your weapon. I'm going to choose rock with a capital R. It's going to make it lowercase. And there's our response. It gives us you, which is me. I chose rock, versus scissors is what the computer chose. Rock beats scissors, you win. Let's try it again. Choose your weapon. Let's choose paper this time. I chose paper. Computer chose scissors. Sorry, you lose. Scissors beats paper. Cool. So that's it. There's one more thing you could do. Personally, I like how these consts are lined up, but if you want to make it slightly more, I don't even want to say more functional, but just more, less wordy, I guess is the word, less wordy. You could take these consts, get rid of them, and you could declare them with kind of the comma feel. So each one of these is still a const. We just got rid of that const word and replaced it with the comma there. So you could go down through and do that for each one of these if you don't like all these consts out front. The initial const, and then these are all consts after it, following it with a comma. We're just declaring them all with one instance of const instead of writing it every single time. So yeah, that's really the last tip for this. If you like the video, if you like the project, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Click the like button, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.